think about this. Think about the things you know today and think about how different your life would be if you could, give a younger version of yourself some of the knowledge, some of the wisdom that you have in your brain today. In today's episode of the Positivity Hour, we're going to be doing just that. We're going to be talking about 5 things I wish I could have told my younger self, in this case, my 18-year-old self. Obviously, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm grateful for how my life turned out because of all the adversity I've come through. But that being said, I got some knowledge that I would like to, tell younger Darshaun. All that and more after the intro. Woo! Okay, welcome. We officially got the 2 camera setup for the podcast here, and it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a great one. We got a lot of lights up. Okay, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 little old lights up right now. Some accents, some main lights, some whatever you want to call them. That doesn't mean anything because you came here not for the technical capabilities of this podcast, but for a ray of sunshine in this landscape of doom, we'll say. In reality, it's a beautiful time to be alive. We are some of the most privileged humans to ever walk this earth, quite possibly ever. So it's a great day to have a great day. For those of y'all who don't know me, the name's Darshaun Smith, also known as the Positivity God, and this is episode 172 of the Positivity Hour. And we're gonna hop straight into this. So thank you for your time. Make sure you like, subscribe, unsubscribe, hate, comment, follow, unfollow, share, report. I don't really care what you do. Just do what you think is right for this podcast today. And let's make it happen, guys. And let's hop straight into that time capsule. Woo!
Time capsule.
All right, first thing I want to say in the time capsule is I need to bring back the drink some water, segment. So I guess the camera over here is the drink some water camera. Do some slow-mo effects. Just make it really trippy. Yeah. I'm joking with you. Just drink some water. Like, we all could drink some more H2O. We are mostly water-based creatures anyways. Water and carbon, that is. So, yeah. Okay, for the real time capsule, first segment. Y'all remember last week when I was like, I lost my S Pen. Play the clip. I didn't break the tablet, but what I did do was lose the S Pen, the stylus. All right, so now that the clip is played, funny story. I have another clip to play for you because I found the S Pen quite literally like 20 minutes after I posted that video, and it was in my room. It wasn't even in the grass field. I was literally getting ready to leave, and it was right there just chilling on the ground. Or not in the ground, but you'll see. So go to that clip. Y'all, I can't even make this up. I'm putting this in the podcast for next week. It's Monday, like 11 a.m. or so. Just got back from the gym, got off the morning shift, and I found my freaking S Pen. I have some compression shorts, and it was literally right in there, thing closed. And I keep my tablet here, so it must have fell off and fell in there. Oh my, bruh. Look at this dude. Dang, I guess I don't need a new one. Got mine right here, boy. Woo! All right, yeah. When I recorded that, I was just like, man, I can't tell y'all for a week. I gotta sit on this knowledge for a week, okay? But I say all that to say that, I got my tablet here. It looks like a composition notebook for those who are curious, you know what I'm saying? And on the back, I do have my $60 Samsung Galaxy Tab S Pen. Wazam. I'm telling you, that quote, I don't know who said it, but it was like, whatever you're looking for is precisely where you're not looking. And I'm telling you, I looked everywhere but there until I needed something out of there. And I was like, come on, brother. One job. All right, next thing on the time capsule, I guess, because, the whole point of the time capsule is to talk about current events and all that. And remember how last week as well, we were talking about how the tariffs went into effect? Well, funny story, the tariffs don't exist anymore. Except for China. Like, they're 140% tariffs or whatever on China. They got 125% back on us. It's looking like we're going to a new trade war. But Trump really did a pump and dump on the U.S. stock market. And I know people that made tens of thousands of dollars. And, you know, me personally, if I had more liquid funds at the time, I would have bought the dip. But, you know, that's not the situation and era I was in, because I wanted to use some of my liquid funds to buy this camera and buy some lights and flashes and, you know, other things to help my business, do more work. But we'll talk about that later. Last thing, okay, speaking of the business that I wanted to throw in the time capsule today is the business, okay, the podcast with New Wave Performance, side camera. You see the hat right there. We're chilling with John. We did a few episodes, not a few episodes, but like pilot episodes that will probably never see the face of the earth until the podcast is super big and famous and successful and all that. But you never know. It's John's call. My job was just to show up and show him what was possible, and I think we did a freaking great job. So I'm not gonna show you anything of it. Maybe I'll put like a frame of like the 3 camera angles we had or something. So look alive for that. And Las Vegas trip. I leave tomorrow. As of recording this, we're 15 Sundays in a row recording a podcast, and getting it up same day. So I leave tomorrow for Las Vegas. It's gonna be a great time. And I was talking to my roommate, and I was like, you always like leave for a week here and there. It's like, I've never left for a week, so have fun with the place while I'm gone. Don't burn it down, keep it safe. So it's gonna be a great trip. It's gonna be a movie. Like I said, I'm gonna be out there with my brother and his company, that he's the president of Golden Energy and Solar Services. They Sling Solar. He's trying to put up a megawatt of solar on roofs this year himself personally, not just him and his team, because they're out of here. So he's a keynote speaker at SolarCon. So cool thing I found out, this camera on the side only has a 30-minute record time, and that was a big limiting factor for like these podcasts and such. Something I accidentally figured out, funny enough, recording with John, is this main camera, it has a 13-hour record time. The only problem is overheating, because I have a V-mount battery on this, meaning it's good to go for 8 hours. Like I can legitimately record for 8 hours. I have a 1 terabyte SD card in there. So I just literally, that camera would overheat before the battery dies. And when we were with John, it recorded for 40 minutes straight. That camera recorded for 29 minutes and 52 seconds before it shut off. And my other camera recorded for 37 minutes before it shut off. And that has a 29-minute recording time. But whatever, we're getting lost in the details. Long story short, we up, we lit. It's 2025. This year is not going to plan. It's not going to plan at all. But it's still a great year. It's still a great day to have a great day. And let's hop into the main topic. Let's go.
Time for the main topic.
So for today's main topic, I'm gonna keep this nice, short, and sweet, because it really is just 5 points that you can see the notes right there, maybe on the second screen. That it's literally just 5 points. Normally I start with some fluff, and so I'm gonna just power through these real quick, get you the sauce. These are the 5 things I wish I could have told my younger self. I'm gonna give them to you all right away, and then we're gonna talk about them. Number 1, understand yourself, okay? Face your demons and figure out your brain, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, what I would have told my younger 18-year-old self is do it for you, okay? Whatever you're doing in life, do it because you want to do it, and do it for the people that support you, okay? Number 3, I can't wait to, go back to number 2. I got a lot to say about that. But for number 3, get good at a skill the world needs. That is a very important thing that I don't think a lot of young people my age back in, 2018 or 2019 were really told, or really in the whole 2000s. This whole, whatever. Like I said, we'll get into that. I got a lot to say about these points. Number 4, okay? Stay in the gym, okay? Whatever you do, doesn't matter how long it is, doesn't matter where it is, stay in the gym, brother. Please. Oh my goodness. And number 5, run your own race, okay? You're not in competition with anyone else out here. I mean, objectively speaking, you are, but you need to think about it differently, and we'll talk about that in a second. So now that you know the 5 things I would have told my younger self, all the people who just came for the sauce, you can click off now, okay? Real supporters, like I said, I'm taking my own advice. I'm doing this for the real day ones, the real people who want some knowledge, the real people who support the God, the positivity God, you know what I'm saying? I'm not that full of myself. So let's talk. Number 1, understand yourself, face the demons. Last year, 2024, was my era of facing the demons, and it was 2023 into 2024, so about 9 months collectively, maybe 10, depending on when you want to, put the timeline together or what have you. But I took that much time, 9 months to 10 months, to take a step back from social media, to really, look at things in this world and be like, wow, I am not okay. Like, I'm not doing too well in the head. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this to cope with that. I'm doing this to cope with that. I'm like really just trying to like not face these demons in the closet. Funny enough, in pop culture these days, demons are just women who you're trying to have sex with at night. But hey, I ain't got no emotion like that when my brain was all messed up. Like, I can't even believe I had a girlfriend there for like a year in the midst of all of that. But whatever, we're better now. And I'm only better because I took the time. I didn't wait for it. I didn't wait till I completely crashed out, ended up in jail, and, had to figure something out. No, I took the time when I had a free moment here and there, and I was like, let me actually just like sit in the dark, put my feet in the air, and just like think about life. You know what I'm saying? Let me just be bored real quick. And what sparked it, like the quintessential moment that really ignited that flame within me, was 2022 Thanksgiving week. Everyone in this apartment building I currently live in went home but me, because I'm in Iowa City right now. My home is Cedar Rapids. Like, I went home on Thanksgiving Day and I came back at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone else, they had to fly somewhere or they went here or there. It is what it is. But because everyone was gone, I had the time to be alone, to genuinely be quiet. There was no other sound from the apartments above or below or to the side or whatever. Like, it was just me. And that was a beautiful thing. And I'm so glad I'm not a crazy, or I'm not a psychopath, and I'm not trying to take an easy way out, because it would have been a very opportunistic time to do such a thing. But I say all that to say, literally that moment of me just being like, I'm not okay, but I want to be okay. I got to figure some things out. Where do I start? Let me just think about it. And 2.5 years later, I'm here. Okay. Better than I've ever been, speaking better than I've ever spoke, mind clearer than it's ever been. It's a beautiful thing. So understand yourself, face your demons. That's point number 1. Point number 2, let's go. Do it for you and your supporters. Okay. Doesn't matter if it's, school. Doesn't matter if it's this camera stuff, me being a podcaster or motivational speaker on Instagram, and with aspirations to do this in person and provide wisdom in my life experiences anecdotally to other people and so on and so forth. Like, just do it for you, like, and your supporters. Like I said, we have a notion in our modern culture that, you got to flex on the haters, or I'm only doing this for the haters. It's like, I'm the positivity guy, okay? I'm a glass half full type of guy. Plus, no matter how you want to look at it, from a very technical standpoint, the glass was always full. It's just maybe not full of what you want it to be full of. It's full of air instead of apple juice, but beggars can't be choosers. It's still full. So I'm just like, yo, why are we doing this for the haters when we got supporters that have been here from the beginning? One of my biggest supporters, okay, and I've said this before, and I'll put it on record again. My mother, okay, she through the years bought me cameras, let me steal her cameras, even before I was doing this camera stuff professionally. You know what I'm saying? She's always just been like, okay, I guess this little boy likes stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? And invested when maybe she didn't even have the dollar. Like, that's a real supporter. So when I'm doing this camera stuff, I'm not just doing it for me. Okay, don't get it twisted, because I'm doing it for me. But you got to do it for your supporters. You got to do it for the people that believed in you, people who put some dollars where they and true intentions were, you know what I'm saying? Because they invested, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you got to give a return on investment to everyone, because some people ain't asking for that back. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to do it for anything, do it for you because you want to do it, and do it for the people that actually believe in you. That's a thing I wish I could have told my younger self quite some time ago. Not even just 6 years ago, okay? But yeah, I digress because I want to talk about number 3, okay? Number 3, get good at a skill the world actually needs, okay? You may be asking yourself, as I just asked myself, does the world need podcasters? You know, does the world need people to take photos? You know, does the world need people to make videos? Does the world need people to be a designer of messages? You know, a graphic designer, you know? As that's what I want my career to be. And my response to that is a overwhelming yes, okay? I had to get close to the mic. Yes, 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 yes. We live in one of the most interesting eras, like I was saying earlier, of human existence, okay? Where videos like this, both for entertainment or educational purposes, are making billions of dollars, okay? I'm just now getting into the business of doing this for other people, and let me tell you, I'm 172 episodes in, and I've seen a little bit of success, you know, and I've gotten more consistent both with my process and the success, which is important because when I'm doing this for, like I said, a business like New Wave Performance right here, you can see John's hat. John's trying to make more money. So if my process can make John more money, let's say like, you know, I'm like, oh, John, I'll do it for 5,000. I can make you 20. Who ain't signing up for that? That's 15 bands I didn't have before, okay? And I'm telling me nothing out of pocket. You just want newly created dollars. The business motto is straight up. But that's just video. Same thing with photos, you know. Yeah, everything's digital, but hey, a lot of people want to put something on the gram. You know, a lot of people want to remember their wedding or remember their graduation or remember whatever it is, you know. Maybe it's for news or for current events or what have you, you know. That's a very in-demand skill that's been in demand since cameras were invented in the 1800s, okay? They had photos of enslaved people in America. That's how long cameras have existed, okay? Since the 1860s, my guy, okay? My girl, they, them, we accept everyone here, okay? We don't like everyone, though. I ain't like that. I like girls, but women. But, you know, okay, I'm digging myself a hole. I say a little all that to say that yeah, get good at a skill the world needs, you know. That's a very important one that I think a lot of people my age and a lot of people growing up today aren't told. You get told to do what you want and do what you love, and then you do that and you get your degree that no one cares about, and you get a job that doesn't pay well and you can't even support a family off of that. Like, you played yourself. And I'm just super grateful that I was going down that path, and then I actively was like, you know, I'm going to not do that because that's not, like, yes, are people successful in this? Yes. 95% of people aren't, though. And I'm sorry, I don't have the grit and determination to be in that 5%. For this camera stuff, yeah, I'll stay up all night. I'll pull an all-nighter. I'll make the uncomfortable phone calls. I'll learn and put myself in environments that are, you know, new to me, and do what I need to do to get there, because there's a larger pot of wealth to be shared amongst this skill, you know what I'm saying, that the world needs. But yeah, it doesn't have to be cameras. It could be plumbing, electricity. You know, in America, we have a housing shortage, okay? Framers, you know, electricians, okay? I said it twice, okay? Maybe, excuse me, that skill's really in demand. I don't know. Not speaking from experience or anything, or someone I know who's doing that, but yeah, get good at a skill the world needs. Point number 4, let's talk. Stay in the gym. Holy, this, especially in the last like 8 months of my life, you know, from being in the gym and losing almost 50 pounds, you know, to getting back to 250 pounds because I was in the gym consistently, you know, after I had gained some weight during COVID because I stopped going to the gym, you know. It was great. And then I hurt my ankle and I wasn't able to go to the gym because I wasn't able to walk. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was like the same thing that happened when I hurt my ankle when I was in 7th grade. It was like you could eat well and eat less and do all that, but it's like if you go from burning like 6,000 or 7,000 calories a day from an active burn at the gym and just, you know, the recovery process and then living life, to like now you're only burning like 3,000 calories to just exist. Like, you know, you're just gonna gain weight. Your body is not gonna, you know, it's got to find a new balance. And if you don't adjust your food, which I didn't, you know, if anything, I ate more, so I gained weight. And that was a super crazy thing that I had come to terms with that fact, you know, like 2 weeks ago, you know, like I said, when I bought that scale. And yeah, man, I pretty much weigh right now exactly what I weighed a year and a half ago, you know, when the doctor was like, you need to hit the gym more. And then I lost 50 pounds and he was like, great job, Darshaun, keep going. And then I hurt my ankle and now I'm back to, you need to hit the gym more. And I'm just like, come on, I'm trying, but it's okay. Younger self, well, like I said, I wouldn't even be here if I just would have stayed in the gym throughout COVID and throughout all of that. And because like I said, I wouldn't change the past. I'm grateful I have this knowledge now. But to all the young people watching this, oh my goodness. Like, I'm 23, so I'm still young. But hit the gym. Stay in the gym. Be consistent. Eat well. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to eat a donut after this. But I'm so serious that lifestyle change really coming. I'm going back to 1 meal a day and just fasting, okay? It's going to be a great meal. We're going to eat our 2,000 calories plus, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be full, but it's only going to be 1 meal. Maybe a granola bar to, you know, in the evening or something, but 1 actual meal. So, yeah, last thing I want to talk about, number 5, okay? Let's talk. Run your own race, okay? Notice how I took a pause right there when I did the number 5? Run your own race. I think this is a very important thing that we don't hear enough in life because we are so used to this mindset that we are in constant competition with those around us, which is true. You know, everything in life is competition. Who drives the best car? Who has the most beautiful wife, you know what I'm saying? Or side piece in reality, with the men who are considered 10s or high value, who has the best art, who has the best way of words, who has the best what have you, the degree, the money, the bank account, the neighborhood, the alumni school, like everything in life is competition, okay? It's a battle for resources. It's a battle for positioning. It's a battle for whatever you could think of. It's a battle for that, okay? That being said, a mindset shift that someone bestowed upon me a few years ago, but it's something I wish I would have known and really understood when I was 18, getting ready to get shipped off to college, you know, 20 whole miles away from where I grew up, but still away from home, you know, is run your own race. Like, yes, you are in competition with everyone else, you know, literally you're being stacked up, whether it's grades or what have you. And you know, if you're in the top 10th percentile or the lowest 90th percentile, and that's cool and all, but you can only battle against you. You know what I'm saying? So in reality, yes, you are competing with everyone, but think about it like this. You're just competing with yourself. If you're constantly, every day, getting better at the craft, getting better at your, you know, goals, you know, your life, your whatever you want to do. It could be money. It could be like, it's the same things, the cars, the women, the place, the schools, the children, the whatever. If you're constantly improving that, by default, you're going to win against everyone else because other people are lazy. They give up. Okay. They're not persistent. They'll do this camera stuff and they'll work balls to the walls for like 2 years. And then they get some money on, they finally get that 60K retainer deal. And then they stop working hard. They stop thinking big. They stop growing. They're like, okay, time to settle down or whatever. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying because they stop trying to improve themselves, they stop trying to beat you. Meaning if you just battle yourself every day for the rest of your life, you're going to outwork a multitude of people, many of people. And that's why you need to run your own race. This little light turned off. That's crazy. I say all of that to say, though, it's a great day to have a great day. And yeah, that's all I get. Let's wisdom from your OG. Go to that section.
Hello, viewer and folks that are listening. This is Darshaun from the future. obviously speaking through an AI voice called Grandpa Spuds Oxley. That said, we are not doing a let's get personal section today because I forgot first off, and number two, we didn't need to. I just thought since everything was already personal, you would have seen the connection and said, yup, that all makes sense. Thanks for watching and listening this far. I love and appreciate you more than you know. Now let's get back to business. Wisdom from your OG.
All right, now that the light is back on and I am done fumbling over my words, I want to go more into that fifth point, And I have a video from Casey Neistat on the Diary of a CEO podcast. It's about like 2 minutes or so. I'm just gonna let it rip real quick. I wrote my notes. I actually watched it and have the timestamps and all that. So I'm just gonna, I'll tell you what I think in like 2 seconds. 2 minutes for you. So yeah,
that makes me want to create stuff. But what's the one piece of advice? I think that nobody cares about you is something that was never made clear to me. And I mean that in the most positive, optimistic, inspiring, motivating way. I think that, especially if you see yourself as a creative or you want to exist on YouTube or as a filmmaker, as a musician, or as an artist or a painter, any of those things, you think that everybody's paying attention. And because of that, it kind of controls how you think. And even when I was young and fearless and nothing to lose, I was still so cognizant of how are people going to react to this and what's the best way to do, I was so aware. And the reality is nobody gives a shit. Everybody is so focused on themselves in this world. Nobody has time for you. And the sooner you accept that as a creative person, the sooner you're free. You're totally free. Do exactly what feels right to you. And if you can get yourself on that trajectory, then it goes back to what we were talking about before, about being novel, about being an original, about not being a photocopy of somebody who did something. If you're that photocopy, you will never be the original. But the moment you accept the fact that nobody cares, do your thing, nobody cares. And then you start to go down that path, you will just get better and better and better. Then you sprinkle on that patience I was talking about, you just keep going. You keep going. And eventually that persistence will just smash into opportunity. What is it? Preparation will smash into opportunity. Persistence will smash into opportunity. And your moment of explosion, your detonation will happen. That was verbose, but you asked a big question.
Thank you so much, Casey.
All right, we're back. I say all that to say that, Casey Neistat, interesting guy. You should go check out that full episode. I'll put a link in the description or in the show notes. But yeah, looking at my notes here, my initial thought watching that, and I want to tell you that was one of the most clipped things ever on the internet last year, because nobody cares. Okay, that's why you need to run your own race. Yes, we're always in competition with those around us, but objectively, everyone is so concerned about themselves that they don't have time for you. I agree with Casey Neistat's point because it is so very true. Not to mention, if anyone does look your way and you're like, oh, look at that goofy right there, or look at that dummy head, or whatever they want to say. So they're so concerned about what they have going on in their own life, they're going to forget about that in 5 minutes. That's why when you're doing this content, especially with this camera stuff that I'm doing, you just got to put it out, bro. You just got to put it out into the ether and keep moving. If no one likes it, cool. If everyone likes it, cool. They're going to forget about it tomorrow. You got to show back up. The scoreboard's back to 0. Let's go. That being said, I am very verbose, okay? Oh, Lord. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my eyebrow, okay? I'm just messing with you. That was crazy. But no, I had to Google that word because it's an interesting word. When I was looking at the definition, I remember the definition. I'm gonna give you my remembering of it. Maybe I'll put the Google definition on the screen somewhere. But the definition is people, or no, it's in short, using too many words to express the point. You're still expressing the point, but it's you're going about it in a very verbose way. It's very over the top. It's very not needed in some cases, but I was like, dang. I talk very verbose. If I was just here are the 5 points, bam, boom, 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 podcast done, it'd be 20 seconds. So I don't think you can be not verbose on a podcast. But that's a different conversation for a different time. My last point I wanted to talk about here was, like understanding like what makes you different and understanding your true intentions. I think that the creative process he talked about in that podcast was very interesting because it makes you think about one's true intentions. It makes you think about, why you're doing the things you do and what you're doing it for. For me and my brand, my whole brand is about being yourself, being authentically you, and being that regardless of the fact that you get views or you don't get views, because you're providing a unique human perspective on the world rather than just copying everybody else. And I already knew that before I watched Casey Neistat's videos, but I knew that especially with Casey because that was Casey's whole thing. Casey was so unique into himself that everyone copies him. Like he created the model of vlogging on YouTube. He created the concept of it, or he was one of the creatives. I'm not just gonna give him all the credit, but he's one of the more known ones in the modern era, we'll say. I think he deserves that. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly restart this camera. Actually, I'm not even gonna restart that camera. Second camera angle, goodbye for today. We're gone. We're just gonna end the podcast here. We've been going for about 30 minutes now. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Like it's a very interesting, an interesting thing. I'm a creative person, and I run my own race. I stay in the gym now. I'm trying really hard to get good at this skill that the world needs, because businesses need ways to make more money. And if that's a podcast or a social media clip or, branding photos or what have you, like I got to get good at that, because that's a skill the world needs in this attention economy that we live in. Do it for yourself. And, I wouldn't do it for anyone else other than my supporters, what I'm saying, the people who believe. And I'm so glad I understand myself. Those 5 things, I'm telling you, if my younger self would have known those things, my life would be completely different. And I'm glad I didn't know those things, because I'm grateful for the life I have and where it's gotten me so far. So yeah, all that being said, next week's topic, we're going to be looking at home maths 9 levels chart, like 9 levels of cognitive development. And I just want to talk about it. I just want to react to it. And most importantly, just figure out in real time with y'all where I stand. Next week's episode, it'll probably be on the computer. I'll share my screen and we're just going to go through it and make it happen. So it'll be an interesting, maybe a shorter episode, 15, 20 minutes. And yeah, man. So for the outro, thanks for watching. Thank you for your time. It's a precious thing. You never know how much you got, and you never know when you're going to get it back. And yeah, I just appreciate you, for the people that actually make it to the end. I appreciate you for giving me a piece of your time and listening to what I had to say. Let me know in the comments below, or wherever you're viewing this, on Spotify or Apple Podcast or YouTube. Drop a like and give me an honest rating, so on and so forth. And I just want to let y'all know, man, 2025, we up. I'm grateful to have another day on this earth. I'm grateful for another opportunity to make this little thing shake, make this thing happen out here. And it's a beautiful thing, what I'm saying? So with all that being said, I'm gone. I'm your host, Darshaun Smith. This is episode 172 of the Positivity Hour podcast, personal branded podcast for the Positivity God. And yeah, have a great day. Fade to black. Woo! Yeah. Bing bong, had to bring it back on your head top, boy. Okay, now we're gone for real. Deuces. Blue, can you please help me fix this?
Yeah, I got you, Darshaun.
Blue, you made this? Yeah.